Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome here. It's my first time posting on this channel, and it so happens it's something that I have been passionate about and I think I had put to the side and chosen not to discuss. Um, Years ago, I was a strict Christian, so you could say about a decade ago now, because I'm turning a good old age a decade later. So years ago, I was a strict Bible following Christian. I was a Christian of the Seventh Adventist denomination. And in that church, I was very active. I was strong minded. And what can I say? Very, very extreme, I would say, and borderline cultish. So I was raised in a cultish environment in terms of everything was strict and everything was as was. So let me introduce myself. Hi, my name is Tungai, aka Sharifa. You can find me on Tungai Vogue, and where I document and vlog my life, I guess, and maybe some discussions here and there, all over the place, but we'll find our way. And welcome to my channel. Please comment down below, share with friends, and then I will discuss my thoughts on the rapture. So this particular instance is that I was on YouTube over the last couple of weeks. I think it started making noise more the closer we came to the 23rd and the 24th of September that there was going to be a rapture. It wasn't so much a secret because everybody knew it wasn't going to be a secret rapture like the Jehovah's Witness believe. It was more of a rapture that everyone has been made aware. There's a lot of views I have on this, but I am going to dissect my thoughts and what I understood from it. So it's on this day that there was going to be a rapture. So the rapture was going to take everyone as pure, ideally. But yet I don't know where the confusion came, because God came for the sinners and he was saved by grace and not by works. I don't know where all these scriptures ran and left the building, but in this instance, a lot of people gathered, sold their properties, or did not pay mortgage or rent because they assumed that on this day and thereafter, they won't be here anymore. In fact, the world as is will not be here anymore. Um, the gentleman Joshua obviously was sharing this message, South African gentleman, and he pushed, and then it kind of infatuated all the way to Jamaica, the Caribbean, Europe, parts of Europe, in the UK, and a, a percentage of the Christians believe that this time was coming and this was actually happening. However, with my Adventist history of faith, because I was born and raised in the Adventist church. So I'm going on this particular moment. Obviously, I evolved into other churches, and then later on became non-denominational and not practicing any particular faith per se. So before it led me here, what I took from this situation is that Christians are really not ready for what they speak about, what they talk about, that anything they talk spiritually can actually come to pass. Because in what happened with people that believed in these situations, this shows you that the idea that many are called but few are chosen shows you that the dynamic of Christianity and the faith itself, in the lack of empathy for the people that believed, this is the key word, believed in this situation, is ignorant. Because the whole concept of this faith is belief. The whole concept of religion is belief. The whole concept of scriptures is belief, because it's non-factual. Nothing is factual, but what is everything, even the existence of God, is a belief. Then we are looking down or frowning upon people who have believed that he's coming home and he's fulfilling a prophecy of Isaiah. He's fulfilling a prophecy of scriptures based on the deductions of what they understood of the same scriptures. Because in these same scriptures, Many denominations, including the Islamic faith, have come from that. Because Islam cannot exist on its own. It has to exist with scriptures, with the Bible. And the scriptures in Islam, which is in the Quran, I'm not going to talk about the jihads, no. And even in the Torah, all of them collide. You're all Abrahamites. Basically, you're all following Abraham. Your father, your forefather in that spiritual faith is Abraham. My grandfather is called Timothy. That's my grandfather's name from my dad's side. So I guess that's my current ancestor. So that's the ancestor I'll relate to. However, the ancestor for all Christians is Abraham. That's the father of all faith. So in saying that, these people have believed, and all the multiple denominations are frowning and looking down at someone who has believed that there's a fulfillment in this. All of everybody who's here, who believes in Islam, Christianity, or even the Torah, it's all your faith that the Messiah returns, whether you call him the Messiah, or whether you're saying the Christ, or whether you're saying the the prophet is returning. Islam talks about the return of Christ. So we are all looking at these people like they're mad. Yes, they put a date on it, but it gave an agency of people trying to practice purity. Now it comes back to this, that I empathize with them because I could have been them at one point, because I remember I would use scripture to speak to pastors and ministers, using the same scriptures to show them that they know nothing. Funny. And it allowed me a certain level of vigilance and fearlessness that normally I wouldn't exercise, but because I believed I was doing it for Christ and doing this in order for people to wake up, and seeing that many of these pastors and ministers and organizations are in wolves' clothing and putting God's people astray. This is all scripture. Well, Ellen G. White's writings and all sorts. However, it gave me, so it's strange to explain, that it gave me a whole lot of ignorance and allowed bad behavior under the facade of religion. And the fear I have is that this is why I don't practice any faith. That religion is the cause of most of our wars, and that's been used as a tool to cause most of our wars. And the fear I have is that we are not seeing that people altered their reality and participation on this earth, which is the only world they know, for a spiritual being that no one's actually factually known. Only it's a personal experience, meaning that the God he's relating to, maybe there's a rapture in the prophecy was maybe for himself, but he's shared the prophecy with the world. Maybe God was just talking to him. Maybe there's a rapture there's a break in something that he was being prophesied, because rapture can be used in multiple ways, and you can misunderstand scriptures. I realized I was doing a lot of that. The same Bible, when I took it out of context and I left the Adventist church, it actually freed me. It taught me differently. If you want me to go into that, I will later on go into that. That means we have to have the right subscription, and I'll actually tell you where the same scriptures, and we can discuss, and whether you agree or not, at least you will see how the same scripture set me free. And that's on a different chapter, but this is just the part one of discussing the rapture. And thank you for watching. I want you to come back on this channel. Please comment, like, subscribe, share with friends, let the conversation start. This is just a conversation starter, and then I'll upload part 2. Thank you.